We humans often think our world is familiar, but beyond the cities, beyond the screens, there exist cultures so extraordinary, so different, they challenge the very limits of what we believe possible. In this journey, we travel across continents and oceans to unveil 11 extraordinary human cultures, one so unique, so seldom seen, you might think they belong to another planet. Welcome to Unreal Humans. Our first stop, a frozen land of endless taiga and ancient traditions, a culture rooted in survival, resilience, and a deep bond with nature. The reindeer-herding nomads of the subarctic realms. Generations have lived not in cities, but in tents. Theirs is a world shaped by icy winds, vast forests, and creatures that roam alongside them. They milk reindeer, make cheeses, trade hides, navigate by stars, living by rhythms unknown to most. In their tent, smoke curls upward from the stove, carrying the scent of juniper incense and old wood. This is a world where humans live not above nature, but as part of it. They face a harsh future. Wolves, shrinking herds, changing climates threaten their way of life. Yet some remain, stubbornly clinging to traditions that feel like ancient magic to outsiders. From frozen taiga to the soaring peaks of the Himalayas, we shift our gaze to a remote high-altitude region where the air is thin and the mountains sacred. Here, hidden among cliffs and mist, live a people whose beliefs echo the ancient rhythms of earth and sky. In villages perched on ridges, generations have worshipped mountains as deities. The peaks speak to them. The wind carries whispers of ancestors. Their festivals are rituals of reverence, offerings of prayer flags, quiet chants on stone terraces, flickering lamps against granite walls. Their lives depend on goats, high-altitude crops, ancient irrigation, and a stubborn respect for balance with the land. To the modern traveler, their homes seem fragile against the elements, but to them, those same mountains are protectors, silent guardians stretching across time. Our third journey, across seas to an island community whose beginning lies in one of humanity's great migrations. Isolated from the mainland, they built a world shaped by salt air, coral reefs, and seaborne traditions. Here, knowledge of the ocean is passed down like sacred scripture: how to read currents, when to sail, how to fish without harming reefs. Their houses are on stilts or built with driftwood, facing the ever-shifting horizon. Their ceremonies mark the phases of the moon, the cycles of fish, the migrations of birds. Every shell, every wave carries meaning. To them, the sea is not a resource, it is kin, a living being with moods and memories. They live by its rhythm, respect its power, and share every day with its creatures. Now imagine a culture where time moves differently, where centuries-old traditions survive not in remote mountains or islands, but within modern borders, hidden in plain sight. A community whose language, their songs, their dances, preserve stories of migrations, wins, losses, survival across centuries. They gather in courtyards and under ancient trees. Elders sit by the hearth, telling opulent legends by lamplight. Children listen wide-eyed, absorbing tales of heroes, legends, long-lost homelands, of journeys through deserts and mountains, rivers and seas. Music flows from simple instruments, drums, flutes, strings, and dances stir the dust. Their clothing, their patterns, their jewelry, each motif tells a story of the earth, of the sky, of ancestors, of identity. They survive in spite of pressures to assimilate, to vanish, to become modern. Their existence is quiet resistance, a living inscription that says, "We were here, we are still here." Our fifth destination takes us to a place of extreme heat, deserts of endless sand, shimmering mirages, and a people whose lives revolve around water, caravans, and celestial navigation. Nomads of the dunes traverse the deserts with camels, caravans laden with goods, their routes etched by stars. When night falls, the sky becomes a map. The Milky Way, constellations, the moon, all guides to lead them across shifting sands. Their tents sit under open skies. They share stories around campfires. They barter dates, saffron, salt, spices. Daily life is hard, brutal even, but they endure, because their identity is bound to the desert. Their stories are bound to the wind, their survival to the stars. From desert dunes to dense jungles, thick with humidity, teeming with life, deep within the rainforest lives a tribe whose knowledge of plants, survival, and harmony with nature is beyond anything many of us could fathom. They know which root cures fevers, which leaf can soothe pain, which bark can bring clarity. They hunt, gather, and harvest, not to exploit, but in delicate balance. Their huts rise on wooden stilts above the forest floor. Their ceremonies mark the cycles of rain, the migration of monkeys, the blooming of orchids. They speak in whispers when moving among trees, lest they disturb the forest spirits. They navigate rivers by canoe, carve wood with hand tools, fashion baskets from vines, live without roads, electricity, or modern noise. Their world pulses with life, slowed down, intertwined, ancient.
Then there are the city forest dwellers, a community tucked away in a valley surrounded by mountains, where urban meets wilderness and tradition collides with modernity. In dusty bazaars, you'll hear street cries and ancient languages mixing. Boys deliver tea on donkey back, women weave carpets in courtyards, elders shop for spices grown in highland farms. Cars pass donkeys, and neon signs hang beside ancient arches. They live both in the modern world and a world from centuries ago, a hybrid existence, beautiful and fragile, constantly balancing survival, identity, and progress. Now close your eyes and imagine a culture that lives underwater, not literally, but metaphorically. A floating world crafted on stilt houses above lagoon waters, where instead of roads, there are narrow walkways, instead of cars, boats, instead of sidewalks, wooden planks creaking underfoot. Life here moves gently, rhythmically. Children jump into turquoise water to chase fish. Women tend floating gardens. Fishermen cast nets at dawn. Houses sway with tides. Markets bustle on wooden platforms. Every sunrise ripples on the water's surface. Shimmering houses, soft footsteps, laughter mixing with gull calls. Their culture is woven in water. Their stories echo in waves. And above it all, community, adaptation, survival. These first 8 cultures we visited, taiga nomads, highland mountain folk, island sea people, desert nomads, jungle tribes, city-forest hybrids, floating water dwellers, each uniquely shaped by their environment. Each a testament to human adaptability, resilience, and the myriad ways we can belong to Earth. But our journey isn't over. There are still 3 cultures left, among the most mysterious, the most remote, the hardest to reach. In a remote corner of highlands, where mist rolls over ancient stones, live a people believed to be guardians of ancient wisdom. Their villages perch on cliffs. Paths carved into rock lead to temples forgotten by time. Their architecture, built of stone, merged into the mountains, seems almost alive. Legends say their ancestors knew secrets of the stars, of seasons, of life and death, encoded in carvings, murals, constellations carved into rock faces. Their ceremonies call for fire under the full moon, chants echoing through valleys, prayers meant for wind, earth, water, and sky. They survive on high-altitude crops, mountain goats, herbs that grow only in rare soil. Their children learn the old songs, the old languages, resistant to outside influence. To meet them is to glimpse a world suspended between myth and reality. Crossing oceans again, we reach a remote archipelago, inhabited by a people as diverse as the islands themselves. Each island with its own dialect, its own customs, its own identity, yet bound together by sea and ancestry. They celebrate their differences in dance, in tattoos, in food, in storytelling. They gather on ceremonial grounds. They craft canoes that glide across lagoon waters. They celebrate harvests, anchoring their joy to tides, rain, sun, moon. Their songs echo across reefs. Their laughter mixes with gull cries and salt breezes. They live without skyscrapers, traffic lights, smartphones, but with a sense of belonging as deep and timeless as the ocean itself. Our final stop leads us to a culture of memory. People who carry centuries of history in their faces, in their voices, in their very breath. They live in a land scarred by conflict and displacement. Old cities lie in ruins. Their ancestors were once powerful, now exiled. But they still gather, in small villages, in community halls, in homes. They teach their language to children. They cook the foods of old recipes. They sing the songs of their forebears. They wear fabrics woven with symbols, phoenixes, eagles, stars, signs of a past, of identity, of survival. Their art resists forgetting. Their stories resist erasure. And in every generation, in every home, in every whisper, they vow, we endure. 11 distinct cultures. 11 windows into the vast, unreal variety of human existence. Each one different, each one beautiful, each one fragile. But in their differences, a powerful truth emerges. Humanity is not just one face, one language, one story. It is infinite, it is rich, it is wild. In a world racing toward globalization and uniformity, maybe what we need most is to remember, to see, to bear witness. Because when we lose a culture like these, we lose not just a people, but pathways of understanding, of imagination, of belonging. So let this tour be more than a spectacle. Let it be an invitation to open our eyes, to step outside the familiar, to embrace the unreal. For in the strange, in the remote, in the hidden, we may just find a deeper understanding of what it means to be human. This was Unreal Humans. I hope this journey stirs something in you. Until next time, keep wondering,